imperative that I should address this long overdue issue. Our interest in the lives of others, our readiness to judge, amuse ourselves, and violate one another demonstrate our basic unrefined instincts and lack of moral growth. Much of the problems facing our nation today as a result of our values and the general mindset we embrace. The mass euphoria and intrusion of people's individual rights in the name of community or traditional and social expectations, moral behavior, and taboo are all contrary to the latest values and principles of a well-informed, civilized, and democratic society. Traditional and social beliefs that arise out of cultural and traditional history do not necessarily rise up to the level of unlawful acts, and we should be cautious to take the law into our hands. Further, we should be able to separate our individual opinions from what constitute unlawful acts and what constitute immoral acts. Immoral acts are private, perhaps sinful, but society has no place to intrude, question, judge, or mete out punishment for immoral acts. Having witnessed the overwhelming infringement of people's individual rights made public, or rather brought to light, by the use of social media in Nigeria, it is so apparent that we Nigerians are either confused or of where our rights end as individuals and as society, and where the right of others commence. Not long ago, a pastor and a woman were stripped of their clothes and paraded around the streets of Lagos for having consensual sex. A younger man and his cousin were said to be arrested by the community in Edo State, handcuffed naked, and dragged down the village because they had again engaged in sex. Consensual sex, fellow Nigerians, is not a crime regardless of who you engage in it with. And no one or community has the legal right to encroach on your privacy and violate you twice by further stripping you of your clothes and humiliating you. It's a matter of civil rights, and we all should realize our boundaries with one another. The rush to judgment and punishment do not belong to society over immoral acts. And we have fellow Nigerians who will bring these uncivilized images to the social media for what I do not know. It only goes to depict us as just another African crude and backward nation. These images and the messages behind them implicate a people that lack understanding of democratic ideals, real education, and the phenomenal lawlessness already affixed to our names and faces. We find it so quick to disrobe one another in public settings, even while our law enforcement agents stand by in derision. Even where actual crimes, heinous or small, are committed, we should realize the basic principle that we all presume innocent until found guilty by a court of law. Being a party to exposing one's nudity while under arrest by legal authority is equally medieval and antithetic to democratic values, and above all, a violation of privacy that should be discouraged in this new millennium. Nigerians have found it so easy to carry this acts more on women, and it's a shame to our society. It's the mentality steeped in ignorance. The young lady that was stripped of her clothes in Benin City for stealing a cell phone is a victim. And I look forward to a time when our judges and our law enforcement agencies will commence to bring violators of people's individual rights to justice. A lady banker decides to sleep with her co-workers and is made a global spectacle with her nude pictures. Again, while I see the immoral nature of her action, her sex does not rise to the level of unlawful act, and those who choose to take her pictures without her consent and post them on worldwide internet media are criminals and violated her. Our court should recognize these acts as civil violations and award financial penalties on the culprits. One should not publicize personal information that he or she cannot substantiate in a court of law, or information that are purely personal. Also, facilitating public nudity or obscenity should be a crime, and if we desire to be respected as a civilized nation, it's only when we begin to change our general value system are we able to move towards advancement. At this point, some form of policing of the social media is essential to curb this disingenuous disregard for decency and individual rights. The proliferation of social media sites, electronic gadgets, should not motivate us to be reckless. I urge Nigerians who are victims of these unwarranted intrusions to seek legal remedies. In all civilized societies, even criminals who are condemned to death are treated with some degree of dignity until their lives are taken. Our National Congress has the responsibility of enacting laws to discourage these beastly acts of public lawlessness. The constant images of nude or naked men and women on our streets, media postings in the name of justice designed to bring shame to those depicted are neither educational or amusing. They are not images any nation should take pride in. If you are not directly impacted by another's action, I see no reason you should engage in the publication of the personal information nor be a party to their humiliation. In fact, taking pictures of anyone without their consent should be made unlawful, and the culprit should be charged both criminally and pursued civilly. We all should walk the fine lines and respect the right of our fellow citizens. Thank you, and may God bless you.